finish the eye look that's on my eyes right now. I did the battle that somebody asked me about, which was mu- what- the palette from Pat McGrath, the newest Pat McGrath mothership, up against the Cosmic Beauty Muse palette. So you can tell me which eye you think looks best, but I'm wearing both of those palettes like I told you I would. So I'm been trying to wrap up videos, which is why I'm a little behind with coming to this live. But here I am now. Anyway, so let's get into the fragrances. So I'm gonna start with the ones that are a little bit older that I tried probably like earlier at the end of February, beginning of March, and then we'll get into some of the newer ones that I recently did videos on this week because I think I did like 3 or 4 videos this week. Oh, hey Sarah. So start off with me here. So if y'all remember, this was the Your Skin But Better fragrance from Snif. Absolutely love it. You can use code Grace10 at checkout to pick up this fragrance from Snif. I loved it personally. I like a good Your Skin But Better fragrance though, so I feel like I'm a little biased in saying that I was so in love with it. Hey Dion. So when it comes to this one, I found a few things I thought would go really good with it. I actually felt like Golden Rule, this is just a newer recent thing that I had got, would go with me pretty well because it has that Your Skin But Better vibe, but it still has like a little fruitiness and a little sweetness to it, and I feel like Golden Rule definitely had that in it. If anything, I feel like Golden Rule will go really well with what is it? Carousel from Brown Girl Jane as well. Y'all know I love Brown Girl Jane, but yeah, I feel like this and these two could go together pretty nicely. I also felt like this body mist from Ellis Brooklyn called Sun would go nicely with me just because it gives a little bit of a fruity element to it. Now, me on its own works perfectly, but I feel like you could also possibly pair it with the one from the one from Forever Mood called it's not called Hard to Get. Hard to Get is lemon flavored one. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's the one in the clear packaging. I forgot the name. It like escapes me, and I don't have one here with me because I have the full size at home. But yeah, it would definitely go with Jackie Ina's Forever Mood Your Skin But Better fragrance that I can't think of the name of right now. It's a great fragrance. Hey you guys, what's going on? Um, on to some other ones. So I guess I should dive into the Kylie one now because the Kylie one is the one that had the most fragrances that I thought would go nicely with it. But if you all saw my video, then you know to me this is just a floral version of Mood Ring from Fleur. It is definitely a floral version of Mood Ring from Fleur. So if you wanted a florally version of Mood Ring, then I think you would like it. It definitely has lots of elements that are in Mood Ring. And if you just prefer Mood Ring on its own, then I don't know that you would necessarily like this if you don't like floral elements in your fragrances. But it's cute. I like it. Um, Fragrances I thought it paired nicely with for sure. I thought Strawberry Letter, it went really great with Strawberry Letter from Fleur. I think it would be great with Strawberry Letter from Fleur because it would give a nice little element to it. This one will also go nice with Miami Shake. I don't know what I did with Miami Shake, but Miami Shake from Juliet has a gun. It would go really nice with that. Hello, Mr. Cool. um, this is definitely a fragrance that I personally love. My top fragrance brands is probably Kylie, Fleur. Of course, I know Snif is in there. And those are the three I feel like I rotate with a lot and use the most. So I would definitely pick up on those. Another one I feel like that would go really nicely with this fragrance is this body mist from Sol de Janeiro. I think it gives a great element to the Fleur fragrance. I mean, not the Kylie fragrance. And the Kylie one, if anyone was curious, has juicy pears, sweet peach, rose royal, pink peony, white, violet wood, and pink musk or purple musk. And then this one has more of a like beachy feel to it. This used to be what is it called? Peachy. This used to be bikini. What I forgot the exact name of it. It was like bikini something from them when it came out in the summer. You all remember I didn't used to buy their summer ones when they came out. I would just buy I would just wait till they came in the permanent line, or I would just not get them at all because I wasn't really into body mist. I just started getting into body mist recently, which explains why I just started talking about a lot of body mist. If you all haven't noticed, I did go over these Love Shack fancy ones, but I did a members only video on them. But I feel like this one, Berry Kiss, will go very nicely with the fragrance from Kylie as well, just because it gives a good balance to the scent. This does have some floral elements to it, and I feel like this adds a little extra twist to it. This would also go really nicely with Miami Shake. If you weren't aware, Juliet has a gun, not a perfume by them. This will go really nicely with it. I don't necessarily like this one as much as I like the other one. They have one called Pink Blush that smells really nice and really sweet and really good. And y'all know I'm more of a sweet fragrance person and not necessarily a fruity one. I'd like to do fruity ones in the summertime, but otherwise I'm just, kind of like on a sweet kick. I feel like Ariana Grande's Cherry Eclipse or Rim Cherry Eclipse would go pretty nicely with this fragrance as well. It would also go really good with Love Shack Fancy's Berry Kiss here because they both have like that berry element to it. This would give more of like a I guess a fresh ripe berry element to this fragrance because I feel like this is a very unique fragrance for cherry. And I've tried a few cherry fragrances. They usually have like more of a smoky scent, but I don't know. It's something about this one that has a uniqueness to it that I really enjoy. I've done videos on the majority of these if you want to just check or just watch videos on any particular fragrance as opposed to all the collective fragrances I have here. But I wanted to show you what I have been pairing them with so far. I usually do reels on this, but I decided I'd just do a short instead, so that way I have to make a whole bunch of individual and make different things for different ones. Of course, y'all know Rose Air from Snif. As you can see, mine has been well loved, and I don't usually like fragrances like this, but I felt like this was a great fragrance in spite of it having like the laundry detergent and it being rose. I don't really like rose scents, which is why I was surprised that I like this Kylie one. But these two are a great match made in heaven as well. I think they blend together quite nicely. If you like strawberry and rose, then I feel like you would definitely like this scent, and it complements the rose and the Kylie quite nicely. So if you're interested in both of those, I definitely think you should check them out. Again, I do have a code with Snif. It's Grace10 for anyone who's interested, and you can try it out. Now, this Moonstone, I think it would actually complement Golden Rule very nicely because Golden Rule kind of has like a fruity type sweet scent to it, and I feel like this adds nice elements to it. And this has green apple, pineapple, and black currant, and then the heart notes of lemon zest and mandarin orange with jasmine and geranium, and then the base notes are sandalwood, vanilla, and amber. Now, I don't feel like I really smell that much vanilla in here. I can definitely smell the amber and the sandalwood in it, and it would make sense that it would make body mist to go nicely with their fragrances. So I would recommend trying these two together if you have both of them. I like the way it turned out. It might be an acquired taste. This would also go really nicely though with the Kylie Rose Royale fragrance because they have a nice balance and element to them as well. Great combination of fragrances. I'm telling y'all, I have found so many like fragrance jewels in here. Let's get into the next fragrance. So you all know I did the Marshmallows by Ellis Brooklyn. I really enjoyed this fragrance. I thought it was really nice. Of course, I think it would go good with the Yum Bougie Marshmallow from Kylie. If you all remember, I wasn't in love or crazy about this fragrance. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. I feel like it's more like a layering fragrance for me. I don't know that I would necessarily wear this one on its own, but I do like them in combination with this one. I also like this one in combination with what is the new one I tried from Juliet Has a Gun, Miami Shake. I feel like this goes really well with Miami Shake, and so does this. So either one of these could be good layering ones to go with Miami Shake. I also feel like the Ellis Brooklyn Vanilla Sin goes really good with obviously Marshmallow. Again, it's one of those things where like obviously both the fragrances go together nicely because they're made by the same brand, so they would complement each other quite nicely. Then I thought Vanilla Vice would go pretty well with the Ellis Brooklyn if you want to make it a more smoky, sweet scent, because Vanilla Vice from Snif definitely has a lot of smoke and kick to it. So if you were interested in adding some smoke and kick to this and it not being as sweet, basically if you want to turn this body mist from the daytime into a nighttime fragrance, I feel like these two would go together quite nicely and work out best for you in that way. On to the next fragrance. So I'm going to end with the Snif fragrances, but I have a couple more that I wanted to talk about. So I have the Seven Virtues Clementine Dream, and I feel like this goes really nicely with Golden Rule from Fleur, believe it or not. I know it probably doesn't give that great element to it, or it doesn't sound like they would go good together based upon the notes that's in the Fleur one, because I feel like the notes in the Fleur one don't make it sound like it would go very nicely with Clementine Dream. But I found it to be a good fragrance, and I found them to be a good match. So I would definitely say to pair these together. However, you can also pair this Clementine Dream with Naughty Nona from Fleur's Secret Menu from the Nonsense brand. Both of these are really nice. Hello, French Toast in Texas. Cool name. Um, but yeah, I would combine both of these, and I feel like they would be a great complement to each other because this is a nice fruity one and gives a little, very, very, very small amount of pastry to it. So if you don't like an overwhelming pastry scent, oh, thank you. Yeah, I just did this video comparing it to the new Pat McGrath palette versus the Cosmic Beauty Muse palette. So I'm going to edit that when I get off here, and you should see that sometime next week if you're interested in checking out how I created both these eyes, because this is two different eye looks. Yeah, but both of these will pair together nicely. If you like a nice orangey, citrusy scent with vanilla in it, I feel like it would go really nicely with this Naughty Nona fragrance, and they would work out perfectly for you. Definitely a great combination, but this goes good with another Snif fragrance as well, but we'll touch on that in a second. Oh, I almost forgot. So Carnival from Brown Girl Jane. Y'all know this was my all-time favorite fragrance from Brown Girl Jane. It still is my top favorite one. Thank you. I tried to make it look good, but I feel like it would actually might go pretty nicely with Fleur Majesty because I feel like it would give like a nice little fruity element to it. I know it might not be ideal for some people because florals and like this fruitiness might not go together as well for you. I'm thinking as a possibility now. That one I have not actually tried out yet, but I did think it would go good. Of course, I think Carnival will go good with this one. It'd be like a dreamsicle with a mix of mango to it, and this has its own cream in it. So that's why I feel like both of these will go together really nicely. Oh, thank you. And Fleur's Golden Rule might go good with Carnival for Brown Girl Jane in the summertime. I'm not 100% sure though, so don't quote me. I have not tried things out. A couple of the ones that I'm talking about, I haven't tried out, but I'm thinking they might be good to pair together. But a good majority of what I'm telling you about, I try to make sure I try out ahead of time instead of just, you know, pushing it out there and telling you you should try it and not actually using it and trying it for myself. So I have tried it and I do think it's good. Another great combination. I feel like the Ariana Rim Cherry would go really nicely with Strawberry Letter from Fleur. I feel like these would be a great combination because they both have like a unique twist to a fruity fragrance, and it's not necessarily a smoky twist like I usually expect because you know the Kylie Love Fest Burning Cherry. It's more of a like smoky type scent. I feel like this has a very unique scent to it, and I feel like these two unique scents together would basically give you your own scent profile, but it would be like a fruity type of scent profile if that's your type of vibe. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned both of those. Okay, let's get into the Fleur now because I want to wrap up really quickly. I didn't want to be here with you all too long, but I did want to update you on these fragrances, and I didn't want to have to do like shorts to do it. So let's wrap it up now. Let's get into the hot cakes. So you all know I got some PR. I've done a couple of videos for you all. I got this and one of the body mists. I'm waiting on the other two body mists to show up, and then I'll do a video of all of it together. But hot cakes definitely automatically I felt like it would go perfectly with Crumb Couture. And as you can see, Crumb Couture is well loved by me. Half of mine is gone. I have done a video on Crumb Couture. Crumb Couture and what is it? Vanilla Vice were actually the first two fragrances I ever purchased from Snif's website. I had found out about Crumb Couture and it sounded intriguing. And then, of course, Vanilla Vice came out. And if you all know anything about me, you know I love a vanilla fragrance. So I had to get my hands on Vanilla Vice. And that's how I ended up with Vanilla Vice and Crumb Couture, but hotcakes and Crumb Couture do have some similarities. I feel like you'll have more maple and butter scent in this pastry scent as opposed to Crumb Couture, where you'll get more berry and more like this sweet pastry scent. So it all depends on which one you prefer, which one you will like. I would definitely say I like Crumb Couture mixed with hot cakes probably the best because I feel like I get the best of both worlds. I get a nice berry scent. I make sure I get a decent amount of pastry, and then you still get the butter and the maple scent. So I feel like combining them together is the best way for me. But hot cakes on its own is really nice if you like a good pastry fragrance. Hey Janet, if you like a good pastry fragrance, then I feel like hot cakes would be good alone on its own for you. However, I do like to pair with Naughty Nona as well. I feel like Naughty Nona just brings out more of the berry in here because there is a little bit of berry compound in this from what I remember. And I feel like Naughty Nona just brings that out of it and adds its own little sweet, fruity element to it. So you get more fruity instead of just berry on its own. I really like the combination of both of these. Oh, you're at O'Hare? Really? Why did you come into Midway? you know O'Hare is horrible. No, then I feel like Tarte Deco would go pretty well with this scent as well. I like Tarte Deco because it has a nice kind of sweet tart cherry to it. It's not a traditional cherry, kind of like the Ariana Grande Rim Cherry Eclipse. It's not a traditional cherry, so I prefer to find fragrances that aren't always as traditional because I already have like those traditional classic scents. So it goes together really nicely. This would go really nicely with Miami Shake as well because you know it has a nice fruity element to it, and they really pair nicely together because I have tried this with that as well. Um, as far as hotcakes go, I don't have any other things that I would necessarily pair it with that I can think of. I was thinking maybe to try it out with the Seven Virtues Clementine Dream and see how I feel about that one because I feel like a nice little citrus moment would be really cool to pair with this fragrance. But otherwise, I don't have too much else to go with hotcakes right now, just because I feel like it's one of those standalone fragrances that doesn't really need any help. But if you wanted to add elements that are in the fragrance already, that those were some of the fragrances that I personally chose for it. The last one we have to talk about is Extra Whip from Flirt, Jesus, from Snif. Snif finally came out with body mist. I felt like they were eventually going to jump into the game with it just because a lot of the other competitors had come out with it. So I was super excited to see they came out with it. And of course, y'all know I had to get Extra Whip because we had to see how similar it was going to be to Fleur's Heavy Cream. So they do not have the same ingredients in it just about at all, except for, if I remember correctly, it was like the sugar and the whipped cream. Otherwise, they did not have the same scents at all. So I will say that I couldn't tell the difference for the most part, other than that the heavy cream from Fleur had a little bit more lemon in it. And as you can see, I do love this fragrance. So I'm so happy that Snif came out with their own version of it for me to try out and use. Because I remember for the longest time, the heavy cream wasn't even at Sephora, so you had to pick it up from their website. So I was super excited to be able to find Snif come out with a body mist of it. And I'm excited to try their other ones out. But this is all I have for right now. So this is what we're going to talk about for right now. These two pair nicely together. If you want a more lemony, fluffy marshmallow scent added onto Extra Whip from Snif, and I would say add heavy cream from Fleur to it, and you will definitely like that. Then I thought Whipped Cherry from Clean Reserve that I tried out recently for you all would go nicely with Extra Whip as well. I feel like it just adds a little extra element of whip, and then it gives you a nice little sweet cherry moment. So if you like a whipped cherry moment and you already own Tarte Deco, you might just want to go ahead and get Extra Whip from Snif, and you can go ahead and put both those together. And I feel like it'll give you the same element and vibe that you get from Clean Reserve's cherry fragrance or the whipped cherry fragrance. Combining both these together, I feel like will give you the same effect. Then I paired this with Brown Girl Jane's newest fragrance, Casino, which I thought was excellent. They smelled amazing together. It added a little extra oomph and sweetness to Casino from Brown Girl Jane because it does have a little bit of coffee in it. It's not overpowering, overwhelming. It's not like the Josette one that I tried out for you all. That one to me literally just smelled like coffee grounds. So I wasn't a huge fan of that one. This is what I thought the Josette coffee fragrance was going to be, the cafe. I forget the last part of it. I thought it was gonna be more like Casino from Brown Girl Jane, and it was not. So that was a little disappointing to me. But these two are definitely a match made in heaven. It's like you have on a nice coffee S type scent, and then it's the whipped cream that they put on top of your frappuccino from Starbucks. That's the best way to describe this combination for me. So I truly loved it. And needless to say, the Casino would go very nicely with heavy cream as well. It would just give more of like a lemony effect. So it'd be like whipped cream with like a lemon with the lemon loaf that they sell at what is it that they sell at Starbucks. It would be like the combination of that if you put these two together as opposed to Extra Whip from Snif. So that's pretty much all I have for you all to talk about, all the fragrances. So have you all tried any of these new fragrances? You can let me know. I've tried quite a bit, but I review fragrance pretty regularly, so that's why. Oh, you're going international. I'm about to say, yeah, they don't really have too much international at Midway. I I know Southwest goes international now, but I think they still leave from O'Hare and not Midway. But well, I hope you enjoy your time here in Chicago since the weather has actually been nice, and around this time of year it's not usually this nice. So yeah, you haven't tried any of them, Sarah? Really? Huh? Well, I want to get in more of the Arabian perfume. So, do y'all have any recommendations of the Arabian perfume for me to try out? I know you can't try any of them, Dion, but I know you just came to support because, yeah, you all know I love fragrances. But yeah, I don't have any other fragrances to talk about. I will see you all tomorrow on the live for the why you don't need, because Glam Light is out here thinking that they could play with me. Y'all done came up with these palettes 3 and 4 times. Oh, stop playing with me. I'm not playing with them. So I'm gonna pull the ones that I already have tonight, and then we can talk about which ones we should do compared to them, because they out here playing. But I hope you all enjoy it, and I will see you all tomorrow night. I got some editing I need to get done. Bye, guys.